All right, we're going to have our next speaker come up now. Miss Constance Coleman was born in Hollywood, California, and considered California to be her home until she relocated to sunny St. Petersburg in 2006. She earned her bachelor's degree from the University of California, Davis, and her law degree from the Thomas M. Cooley Law School in Lansing, Michigan. She became an active member of the Florida Bar in 2009 and has passionately represented numerous clients in real estate and civil matters at the Coleman Law Group. Ms. Coleman takes special pride in her commitment to her community and in making a difference in people's lives. She has volunteered time and skill to numerous organizations and believes giving back is the key to living a successful and happy life. She believes that it is important to maintain a balance between work and play, and to always remember and to maintain a strong relationship with God. It will get you through the tough times in life, she says. Please join me in welcoming her as she shares her experience with us.
Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to come speak with you today. I really didn't understand or know what I was going to talk about, but once they told me what I was going to talk about, I was quite excited. So let me just tell you a little bit about my background. As the introducer had stated, I am from California, Los Angeles, California, born and bred. I decided after my high school degree I was going to go to college, which my mother basically made the decision. My mother and father made the decision for me, so I just basically followed along. I decided to apply to one school. I decided to apply to San Diego State University. So I went to San Diego State, and the reason I applied to San Diego State first is because it was a party school. So like one school, and I had really good grades in high school, so I knew it wouldn't be a problem getting in. But like Pastor said, he majored in band, I majored in partying. So even though I was willing to and wanted to party, I also wanted to educate myself. I wanted to be a pediatrician. My entire life I pretty much said that I wanted to work with children and be a pediatrician. So I went to San Diego State University. I started an internship. I pretty much volunteered at Children's Hospital in San Diego, California. I loved it. We worked with a lot of children who had cancer and just a lot of different sick children, but you really had to have a passion to work for them or work with them. But what I did realize when I was volunteering at San Diego State University or at Children's Hospital, is I hated blood. I have a very, very weak stomach. If you even talk about vomiting or blood, I will probably need a bucket on the side to basically be sick. So once I decided to go to San Diego State and I was working the program, I felt that the school was a little bit too easy for me. Even though I wanted to party, I just wanted a very strong challenge. I was really into education. So what I decided to do was transfer to University of California, Davis after the first year at San Diego State. So I transferred to the University of California, Davis, and they absolutely gave me a run for my money. I almost thought I need to go back to San Diego State. So I stayed at University of California, Davis. I struggled a little bit in a couple courses, mainly chemistry. I was still a pre-med major, and I took some chemistry courses as they required me to do, and I went home every day after chemistry crying. I cried because how could I get a C or a D on a test when my colleague next to me was getting an A and they didn't study half as hard as I did? I remember going to the administrator's office, to the professor's office, trying to get help, and I still came out with a C. And to me, a C was unacceptable. And so what I decided was, if I was getting C's in chemistry, A's in biology, I had a weak stomach, didn't like the sight of blood, didn't like to talk about a lot of medical areas, so I said, I'm going to change to English. So I quickly, as quick as I could, changed my major to English. I loved it. I would read all the time, Alex Haley, but I just read, wrote tons of letters. Papers, I used to write 22-page papers that I had to turn in. I was soaring. I was mastering English. I was pretty much acing all my classes without, of course, the help of getting C's in chemistry, which I would never take again. So I did really well. And then came graduation time, and I said, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with my life? I have no idea. For my entire life, I pretty much wanted to be a pediatrician. So now I was like, I really don't know. I really have no idea. So I remember one of my good friends, she was saying, oh, she was excited, we were graduating, she's like, I'm going to law school, and she had it planned. I said, law school? She said, yeah, I'm going to go here, and I said, that sounds good. So I said, okay, I'll go to law school. So I took a couple of years off just to make money, as you know, a lot of college students want to do. I wanted to earn a little bit of money, travel a little bit. So I then applied to law school, and I applied once again to one law school. I applied to Thomas Cooley Law School in Lansing, Michigan, because my family's from Michigan, so I wanted to be near my family. The only reason I applied to Thomas Cooley Law School is because I had to understand me, and I had to understand what was important to me and what would work for me. And what I realized is that I did not want to be in school for a long period of time. I did not want to be going to school, not earning money, and not have, living life. So I said, okay, I can go to Thomas Cooley and graduate quickly if I take a lot of classes. So I went there. I graduated from law school in about a little shy of 2.5 years. I remember I had to ask for special permission to take 21 credits. And while I was taking 21 credits in law school, and that's a lot of credits, I was also doing internships at the Washtenaw County Public Defender's Office, as well as the Genesee County Prosecutor's Office. And I loved it. So I was going crazy, but for me, I knew that I needed to get out of school as quickly as possible, learn as much as possible, but get back to the workforce. And the one thing I want to piggyback on what Pastor said is he talked about purpose and perseverance. And I want to talk about passion, because I think you have to have a passion for what you do. A lot of times when you go to school, my first desire was to be a pediatrician. And I did have a passion for that. But I quickly realized that that was not the passion that I could carry out. So when I decided to change to law school and to become a lawyer, I have a passion for law. You have to carry out your passion, you have to explore your passion, and you have to execute your passion. You have to, in order to execute your passion, you have to really follow through, persevere, and you have to really do what it takes to reach those goals. So if you decide to change in the middle of your semester and say, okay, I did want to be this and I wanted to do that, it's okay to change what your original plan was, because you have to really be passionate about what you do. Because the reason I think I'm successful with the Coleman Law Group and volunteering is because I love people. I love helping people. I love solving their problems in court, because maneuvering through the court system is very, very, very difficult. It takes a lot of writing, a lot of discipline, I'm continually reading statutes that change maybe every month, every year. They add something new. Legislators are constantly changing. But as long as you have a passion for what you're doing, it's not work. It does not, I don't feel it's work when I'm reading case law and when I'm writing motions, when I go to court and argue a case before a judge. So just remember, always have passion in what you do. And as Pastor said, always persevere and make sure you have a purpose in life. Thank you very much.